What is going on, Pokemon fans? Welcome back to JDs Nerdverse. We're doing a playthrough today of Pokemon Blue with Krabby, the river crab Pokemon, but with a little bit of a twist. So let me just drop this down right like this. There we go. Perfect. There we go. And we are going to look at this website. So this is bulbapedia.bulbagarden.net. Pretty much gives you the lowdown and information about every Pokemon out there. But I use this for kind of my research before I do a playthrough. And this is what inspired this playthrough. So you pick Gen 1, and then you pick the Pokemon you want to look at. So I've done every Pokemon in Generation 1, but there's one specific Pokemon that in Gen 1 kind of feels like it's incomplete. It feels like it's missing some things, and that's this Pokemon Krabby. So I played through the Krabby, and if you saw the video, you kind of know where this is going. If you saw the thumbnail, you know too. So this Pokemon breaks down everything about the Pokemon. Its typing, when it evolves, what it evolves into, the name of the Pokemon, the level up rate, there's the height, there's everything about this Pokemon's on here. But we're going to scroll down to basic stats, and I'll go the stats with you real quick. 30 HP, so it's low attack, or low HP. Attack is 105, very high attack. 90 defense, very good defense. 25 special, in Gen 1 we only have special. And speed is 50. So we don't have, some things are great about this Pokemon, some things are not. Then we scroll a little further, and it goes over like immunities and weaknesses. Then you go here to Learn Set, and we're going to click on Gen 1. And whenever I did this originally, I looked at it, and then it had like a third category that I've never seen before. So this is what inspired this. So I'll go over the moves real quickly. Level up moves are Bubble, Leer, Vice Grip, Guillotine, Stomp, Crab Hammer, and Harden. We're not going to use a handful of these, but it is good to have. It's a pretty good move pool. We'll say that much. It's a pretty decent move pool. Bubble is garbage, and Crab Hammer is amazing. So we're going to scroll on a little further. Now we're going to look at TM moveset. So we got Swords Dance, which is good, Body Slam, Bubble Beam, Water Gun, Ice Beam, Blizzard. All those are good, and then we get access to Surf as well. But if you scroll a little further, you get this. It's called Transferred from Another Generation. And it says Dig, it says Amnesia, Haze, and Slam. So I'm like, huh, okay. It kind of does irritate me that this Pokemon doesn't learn Dig, but in future generations it can. So I went up here and looked at, future generations, and in Gen 3, Krabby is able to learn Dig. So what essentially you could do, so if we were in the real world where we had a Game Boy, we could actually take a Krabby at level 5, give it Dig, teach it Dig, and then transfer that back to Generation 1 and play through the game with the Pokemon starting with Dig. Okay? Which is exactly what we're going to do. So that is what inspired this. We didn't actually do that. We actually use a Pokemon called PK Hex. Well, first we use Universal Pokemon Randomizer, and that's to sub out Squirtle for a Krabby. Okay? And we name our rival Plankton. And we use this program called PK Hex, where we can modify the Pokemon and it let us add Dig as a move. So we're starting the game with Dig at level 5, and here we go. So we're going to fight our first rival battle. He's got a Bulbasaur, so he should have a type advantage the entire game. However, Dig is just overpowered very early, and we obliterate this thing. And so what Dig does, not only does it make this battle very trivial, but it makes a lot of other things trivial. In the original playthrough, we had a hard time getting through the early part of the game, because Bubble was its only move, and Bubble was 20 base power, 30 with stab, but our special's bad, so it wouldn't do a lot of damage. We had to fight a lot of Rattatas. Pidgeys actually could knock us out, because on top of having a low special, we also had low HP, so we don't have a lot of HP to work with, so we can't even use Struggle if we don't like using Bubble. So that was a big problem early. We had to over level early with this Pokemon, whereas now we don't have to. Now we have access to Dig. Dig coincides and works very well in its complementary move and stats work complementary, and Dig works with our attack stat. So it makes this earlier part of the game. It's not the super fastest. There's still struggles you have, and you'll see one here in a minute. But for the most part, it kind of trivialized the earlier part of the game, which took forever in the original playthrough, and makes it super easy. Well, super easy compared. It's still not as fast as like a Mewtwo or some other Pokemon out there. But Dig is very helpful. Now, Dig also doesn't have a lot of power points, so right there I do have to do a little bit of PowerPoint management, because Dig does have only 10 power points. Alright, so just gotta get through this part here. We're finishing up Bug Forest, which, like I said, a lot of things in here aren't very difficult, but it does help us level up pretty fast. And I think we're gonna level up right here. We're gonna use Dig. It's not a one shot, and we'll use Bubble just to be safe. There we go. We don't level up, but we're gonna go ahead and go on to the Million Light Years Trainer in Brock's Gym. Reason why is our rival's very difficult in this. This next rival battle is pretty difficult. He has a Pidgey, so Dig can't hit it, and so we have to rely on Bubble. You can't rely on Leer because Leer's only going to lower its actual physical defense, not special, and Bubble is a special move. So yeah, we're not going to get that luxury here, but we're going to go ahead and face our rival nonetheless. So all we have is Bubble, and Bubble's not very effective. Doesn't do a lot of damage. Gus does a lot more to us than we do to him. We did get sand attacks that also made this battle pretty hard. So if we keep missing and he keeps hitting his Gus, we're going to lose this battle pretty quickly, and we do. So this battle took a couple attempts, but we next one I believe is the attempt that actually goes through. So let's go and watch this attempt one more time. Pidgey, Bubble, and like I said, I can't use Leer to make my bubbles more effective, and he's going to use sand attacks, and now makes it a lot more difficult for me to hit him. However, if we just hit him a couple more times, we'll get him knocked out. Sand attack, I think, is so broken in Gen 1, and that's why I hate Pidgey. I hate the Pidgeys. I hate the Pidgeot line. So bad. So now we're going to use Dig. He really doesn't have anything great against us yet. He still has Tackle, but he has Leech Seed. Those are the only two moves it really has. So the rival there is not too difficult. And Brock's Gym. We're in Brock's Gym. And Brock isn't that difficult either, because he is 4 times weak to water moves. Even though Bubble sucks, Bubble will still one-shot the Geodude and will two-shot the Onix. So one shot and two shot. Very easy, very, very well done. And we get by Brock in 10 minutes, where I think it took about 25 minutes to get by him before. So having Dig also makes this next part of the game very easy. So once you get into Mount Moon, the game opens up for us, because 1, we're around level 20, so we got Vice Grip. 2, we get Water Gun, which is a much more effective water move than Bubble. So twice as effective, to be honest. But we also we struggle here because Bubble's not very good. You can also learn Bide. Bide's not very good. And at this point, we didn't have another move. So this battle's going okay. It went okay in the original playthrough. We were also higher level in the original playthrough. So I use up a lot of HP and have to go back and heal. That's not fun. But the next battle we're going to face is a youngster who has, I believe it's is it a Zubat? It might be... I know there's an Ekans, and Ekans, the problem is Ekans, yeah, Rattata and Ekans, okay. So this was harder to knock out, because Rattata can do some decent damage, but honestly, Ekans can just wrap you to death. So I think we took like 10 minutes or a couple minutes to try to get by that one trainer right there, and all we had was Bubble, which did nothing, and all we had was Bide, which also, you have to get attacked first. But if they're wrapping us, we're not accumulating enough damage to deal back, and you can't use Struggle because our HP is low. So it made a lot of the fights here a little bit harder, but with Dig, it makes it a lot more trivial. We'll still have to use Bubble because, like I said, I don't want to go back and heal that often with Dig, but Bubble still gets the job done. And for the more difficult Pokemon that could deal a lot of damage back to us, we use Dig here. And we went minimum battles. We didn't fight anything we didn't have to fight here. Actually, that's false, because you don't have to fight the Jigglypuff trainer, but we do, because it's good. It's a good experience yield. So we're finishing up here, and we're preparing for Mount Moon. Like I said, Mount Moon opens up widely for our Pokemon. And like I said, what I've done in Mount Moon is, part of the PK hacks is I can hack in some repels, and I'm going to start doing that going forward, because it's the one place in the game where you can really eat up some time, because you don't have the ability to just avoid things. So, going on to Mount Moon. So now that we're in Mount Moon, we're at about 13 minutes, and we pick up Water Gun right there, and that's a potion, but I want to actually showcase a little bit of this, so I'm going to pull this up to the corner right here. I'll still play. Not a lot of hard battles, just a lot of trivial battles, but I wanted to show, this is the playthrough on my channel, okay? It is the playthrough with Krabby, and look how much time we've saved. So right at that point, that was right when we walked into Mount Moon, we're at 25 minutes, so this is a 12-minute save by just having access to Dig. Probably gonna save a little bit more if I try to like optimize it, but I'm just trying, like, first time playthrough, having this move, what is the impact this move has? And it has a drastic impact on the early game because you don't have to grind as much. You don't have to be as high level. Okay, I'm going to actually let this play a little bit. I'm going to mute it real quick. And we're going to see what level Krabby was at. 17. So we had to be level 17 before we walked into this building. And right now on the playthrough side that we're looking at right here, playthrough, we're already kind of going through the battles and stuff. Yeah, we've already gone to the underground. We're a higher level. And I think we just also got to that level a lot faster than we have in the past as well. Because, like I said, we have that move and it makes the battles a lot faster, a lot more trivial. So that is what it saved us. And I think it saves us a little bit further in the game as well. But I wanted to showcase how when we walked into Mount Moon, what our time was now compared to what it was before without dig. So we're gathering up a couple key items. Like I said, I hacked in repels before anyone asked. You cannot get repels before Cerulean City, okay, where Misty is. You cannot get any repels before that. But I hacked them in, and it's been a lifesaver because a lot of time in my playthroughs has been avoiding battles in here, and the repels really help that. Now there's some Pokemon that if I play through them, the repels may not work as much because they're so slow. However, this is not the case with Krabby. It's fast enough that nothing's over leveled, nothing's higher leveled than it, so it makes it very fast to get through Mount Moon. And with that, we're still fighting some battles. We're not we're not over leveled. We're gonna have a move here soon that we're gonna get. It's gonna level up our moveset a little bit, so we don't have to have just dig or water gun. We can have kind of an in between that doesn't take 2 turns, but also gets the job done and can make the opposition flinch. All right, there we go. And Zubat, I'm sorry, it's Stomp makes you flinch, not Vice Grip. But we're about to get Vice Grip here in the next turn or two, next few times. So we go ahead and face this Super Duper Geek. Super Duper Geek is protecting some fossils, and we make these battles pretty trivial. We have a lot of power points left. That's also what's nice about this now is we don't have to do a lot of PowerPoint management. Before we just had Bubble, Bide, and Water Gun. And Bide, you have to take damage to deal damage. Water Gun's great, but your special sucks, and Bubble's worse than Water Gun. So it makes it very trivial. We take a Dome Fossil. All hail the Dome Fossil. I know if I didn't show you, you're going to ask. So I thought I'd just tell you and show you anyway. Actually, now I think of it, go ahead and ask. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. That is a shout out to Mr. Madrybread. Go ahead and watch his videos if you haven't. He's very fun to watch. I much enjoy his playthroughs. He doesn't do a timer like us, but he's still pretty cool. I like watching his playthroughs. They're fun. He plays through every iteration of Pokemon just gives himself a challenge. So now we get Vice Grip. Now we can get rid of this pesky Bubble move and have Vice Grip. 65 base power. I'm sorry, 55 base power. Plays with our physical attack. So it's a great move that works well with our stats. And now we're facing this last trainer here. Is Dig a one-shot? It is not. It's okay. Vice Grip should knock it out. Very good. And to be safe, I went back and healed. Now, Misty's not going to be a difficult battle. Just throwing it out there. Misty has what's called good AI. So she's going to look at us and say, hey, this is a water Pokemon. I shouldn't use water moves. They're not going to be effective. So she'll only use Tack and X Defend. So Dig is not a one-shot on the Staryu, but it's a 2-shot. We get the knockout. And then Starmie comes out. We're still lower leveled, actually. I don't recall too many times when I beat Misty and we're lower level than her unless we, have a huge advantage, like type-wise. But Dig is super effective. Vice Grip wasn't as effective, so I decided Dig is probably the better route here. So we beat Misty pretty handily, I should say. And we're going to move on, and we're going to go face our second rival. Second rival, it's going to be a little bit easier than we've had in the past because our second rival is going to come out with a Pidgeotto, and we have something better than Bubble to knock it out. So, fantastic. Water Gun still doesn't do a lot to it, but we get the knockout without taking any sand attacks. That's good. However, we're near half health, so we got to be very careful. But Dig should steamroll the rest of his team, unless we get quick attacked, but our defense is good, so it didn't do that much. And Bulbasaur is not an Ivysaur, which I don't know why. But as per tradition for most of my videos, I've been doing this on Nugget Bridge. So Nugget Bridge, you get a prize. And so here's my prize to you guys. Here's a bunch of YouTubers that I enjoy watching. Scott's Thoughts, JRose11, and Madrybread really got me into playing Pokemon. JRose11's probably more of the layout, closer to layout that I do. I don't know all the coding to do all the analytics and the stats and stuff like that in real time. Scott's Thoughts does that, but he also does the real time timer like I do. So that's a little bit different. And my dry bread just plays through and just tries to beat the game with some kind of challenge. So all 3 of them are right there, and then there's some other ones. So JDs Nerdverse is a pretty cool guy, you should check him out. Eggsceptional does great Gen 3 content with Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. Squidgy, I'm actually learning a lot from him because I'm starting into Gen 2 content. M&J TV more or less talks about Pokemon and does like what if every gym leader was an Elite Four member or the champion, and he'll build a team based on Pokemon in that region. Gym leader Matt is pretty cool. He does a lot of what if scenarios as well. Van Man hasn't posted a video in a long time, but I do recommend you check out his content. It's pretty good. KangaskDan does a lot of analytics of the game. DeWanda 016 does some pretty good playthroughs as well. M. Tiberius is fun, and Smith Plays Pokemon actually does a lot of modified versions of the game, which are still pretty fun. And he recently did one where he has what's called Pokemon Yellow Legends, where he modifies all the gym leaders to be more effective. He modifies Pokemon getting moves, things like that. So I recommend you check him out, and I recommend you check out all these guys. So as we're finishing up Nugget Bridge here, sorry, I just coughed. As we finish up Nugget Bridge here, we're going to move on to the SSN. Now, the SSN is going to give us really one main thing, but it gives us a couple things. One, it gives us as a rare candy, which I rarely ever put in here, but we do get a rare candy from a gentleman who has I think it's a Growlithe and a Vulpix, 2 fire Pokemon. So we do get we get Body Slam as well, which we just got. We're going to go ahead and teach it for this battle. This will give us an 85 base power normal move that has a propensity to flinch the Pokemon. And also, I'm sorry, not flinch, Body Slam the Pokemon. There we go. It is 5 in the morning, so give me a break on that. So we're saving right now, and now we're going to face our 4th rival fight. This battle gets more and more trivial as the game progresses, because although his team does multiply, our moveset just gets way better to handle this. So one shot on the Pidgeotto, one shot on the Raticate. We took a lot of damage from Raticate though. Body Slam from Kadabra. And we're going to go ahead and Body Slam. Oh, Vine we barely hang on. That was so close a battle. Oh, we barely hung on. But we beat our rival, and we move on to Lieutenant Surge. Lieutenant Surge the Trash Man. We actually are weak to Lieutenant Surge. We did heal up though, so we should be able to knock out all his Pokemon. So Voltorb will outspeed us, but it doesn't do anything smart. So Dig is a knockout. It doesn't have electric moves either. It just has Sonic Boom. Okay, so we're down up to Raichu, and as long as he doesn't do Thunderbolt, we're going to survive. But he goes for Thunderbolt here, so that warrants a reset. So let's go and try this again. And we're going to Voltorb, like I said, will outspeed us. It's one of the fastest Pokemon in the game. So Dig's a knockout, very good. Pikachu will be a one-hit knockout, very good. And Raichu, as long as he doesn't go for Thunderbolt, we'll survive and knock him out. And as long as Paralyzed doesn't stop us from attacking. So very good. We beat Lieutenant Surge. We level up the Kingler. And now we will progress to the game with more stats and a more powerful Pokemon. Okay, so we beat Lieutenant Surge, and then we got through Rock Tunnel. Now we're in the Pokemon gaming corner where we face Team Rocket. So I'm going to pull it up here again, just kind of show you where we're at. So this is in the middle of Giovanni's fight. In Giovanni's fight, we're at 55 minutes. So that's how much what's time we've saved. Almost 20 minutes we have saved by being able to just go right into Giovanni. So that's 20 minutes of saving right there that we've earned just by having Dig. So that's a massive increase. It also might be a little more knowledge of the game, so that's possible as well. But I wanted to at least showcase that we have saved 20 minutes by having Dig. So massive, massive improvement with this Pokemon. And now that we beat Giovanni pretty handily, we beat him like a little redhead stepchild. And now we're going on and moving on to our 5th rival fight. 5th rival fight, gonna come out the Pidgeotto. We're still using Body Slam to knock out the Pidgeotto. Gyarados can't really do anything great to us except for maybe Dragon Rage, but we knock it out in 2 turns. And we can learn Stomp right now, so we're just going to learn Stomp. We're going to replace Vice Grip with Stomp. If we go first, Stomp can make the opposition flinch, but we don't need to with Growlithe. Bubble Beam will knock it out. Stomp will one-shot the Kadabra, and Dig will one-shot the Ivysaur. So it makes our 5th rival fight pretty trivial. And now we move on to KangaskDan. Now KangaskDan usually would be a headache, but what we did was we did sidetrack and we picked up the move Swords Dance. So what Swords Dance does is Swords Dance 1 initiates the badge boost glitch, which anytime you modify your stats in Gen 1, whether that's the opposition leering you or trying to lower your speed or something, your stats get boosted by 12.5% every time. It's a glitch in the game, but it's a very usable glitch. So Swords Dance ups your attack stat by 2 stages. So our attack stat's already our best stat, and it's going to get better. So it's going to make Dig, it's going to make, when we get Crab Hammer, it's going to make it very effective. If we have Body Slam, it makes it very effective. But it also ups our speed when we do that. It ups our attack stat. It ups our defense. And we won't get our special upped until we beat Lieutenant Surge. But it will also up our attack, or our special, whenever that happens. So what is it? Essentially a weakness, we're going to make it turn into a strength. Alright? So now we're going to save right here just to be safe. You just never know. And we're going to go ahead and face Koga. Koga shouldn't be too much as long as we don't get anything crazy done to us on the first Pokemon. So Swords Dance 1, 2, and we get poisoned. We're at 69 health. Nice. And now we're going to go ahead and Body Slam and or Dig through the rest of his team. So Body Slam's a one-shot on the Muck. So one-shot on the Coughing. Is it a one-shot on the Wheezing? Nope, we're going to go for Dig to be safe. It's more powerful, and we get the knockout. We beat Koga pretty handily. And beating Koga means we can move on to, I believe we're moving on to Blaine. Yep, we're going to go on to Blaine. We are Water type. We don't exactly have the best Water move yet, but we are Water type. We're going to go ahead and set up on the Growlithe. Swords Dance. 1, 2, 3. And we have Bubble Beam, but like I said, Special isn't great. That's why it's not a one-hit knockout. Okay, Special isn't great with this Pokemon. Ponytail comes out, we're going to use Bubble Beam again. And Stomp doesn't do anything. Our defense is very high. And we level up to whatever level it is. But the point of that is to get Crab Hammer. Now, Crab Hammer is an amazing move. Because Crab Hammer actually goes off our physical attack, not our special attack. Our special stat. So it makes the Blaine battle very trivial. And we move on to our 6th rival fight in Silph-Co. Okay, we have Crab Hammer now. We have we can badge boost all of our stats now, so we are gravy when it comes to being able to take out this Pokemon. We just don't want to get Sand attacked, which happens right there. Awesome. But Body Slam's 2-shot on the Pidgeot. Very good. And now we just leveled up, so all the badge boosting we just did is gone. However, we can still knock out the Gyarados in one hit. When you badge boost and you level up, it resets your stats back to what they would have been, except for the one you modified. So we still have a high attack because we modified our attack stat with Swords Dance. So that one stays the same, but all the other ones that were badge boosted go back to what they normally would be. Okay, so we just got to get a Dig off, and we can knock out this Venusaur in one shot. Very good. We got Sand Attack, made the battle a lot more interesting than it had to be. However, we still got the win, and we move on to Giovanni. So Giovanni's going to come out, and we're going to steamroll Giovanni. Okay, we're going to steamroll Giovanni. Giovanni's not a tough battle. He went for Guard Spec, even better. Okay, Swords Dance. Crab Hammer will one-shot the entire team. Crab Hammer does have one downside. It is 85% accurate, not 100% accurate. So you could make the argument that, maybe it's not the greatest move to have. It also critical hits a lot. So that's the other upside to it. However, I'd rather have our stats boosted and use this move and go off our attack stat anyway than use use Surf, because Surf goes off special, which this Pokemon's low. So now we're facing Sabrina and her whip. And all we gotta do is get a little bit of a setup. If we can just Body Slam through this entire team without getting knocked out, we're gonna do just fine. Venomoth, Venomoth. We knocked out the Venomoth. Alakazam takes the hit. He gets knocked out, and we move on from Sabrina and her whip. I just made that up on the spot. I hope you enjoy that. So now we beat Sabrina. We beat all the gym leaders except for one, actually. We almost forgot one. We almost forgot one here. I almost left and did not face Erica. Now, I didn't want to face Erica at this point because Erica... I didn't want to face her earlier because it's a risk. It's just a risk. She could beat us. She has a good team. Victory Bell is a very solid Pokemon. So is Vileplume. Tangela is a meh Pokemon. But regardless of that, I didn't want to take her on until I was for certain we could beat her. And it's not really important to the game. Like, beating her... One, you do have to beat her because you have to have her badge to get into the gym and get into Giovanni's gym. And you also need it for strength, so you do need to get through the Elite Four, but you don't need strength prior to that unless you go through the Seafoam Islands or whatever they're called. And we're not doing that, so Yeah, we beat Erica pretty handily. Now we move on to Giovanni. Giovanni will be a very trivial fight. We just got to get a couple setups on the first Pokemon, and we will steamroll through his entire team. Swords Dance 1, Swords Dance 2, and it does no damage. I love the defense on this Pokemon. No damage. And then Crabhammer will one-shot the Rhyhorn. It'll one-shot the Doug Trio. It will one-shot the Nidoqueen. It'll also one-shot the Nidoking. The only thing we worry about right now is leveling up, which we're about to do right here. Not a big deal though. Rhydon is very weak to water, so Crabhammer will knock it out as well. So get the win. Very good. And now we move on to our 7th rival fight right before the Elite Four. So the 7th rival fight is going to come out with this Pidgeot. Pidgeot. And it does not have Sand Attack anymore. So we get a free setup. Nothing he does to us can really hurt us. Actually, you'd think the bird-type Pokemon would be actually a little bit more effective because he is a crab. And, you know, if you've ever been to the beach, seagulls eat crabs. So he's not a seagull, obviously, but you know what I mean. So Crabhammer's a one-shot on the Rhyhorn. Body Slam on the Gyarados is a one-shot, very good. Growlithe will be a Body Slam one-shot, very good. There's 2 Pokemon left. Alakazam. We go for Dig. He gets the one-shot, very good. Now we just got to be mindful of Venusaur. We just leveled up, so we're not going to do as much damage, but we still get the knockout because it's such an effective move. And we move on to the Elite Four. And now we're in the Elite Four, but before I go over the stats, I do want to show something. So, one more time, I'm going to pull this back right there. Very cool. So this is my video. Like I said, it's posted on my channel, JDs Nerdverse. So we're at 1 hour and 26 minutes where we entered our first battle with Lorelei. Okay, so I want you to take note of that. This move has saved us over 30 minutes. Okay, so now let's look at it. And we're at 52 minutes and 46 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and play. We're going to go ahead and show the stats of this Pokemon. Stats are actually really, really solid with this Pokemon. And so we're at 167 HP. So the HP is still like probably our worst stat because I haven't done anything to modify it. I have taken vitamins like proteins and things for our speed like carbs. And we've done a little bit of stat modification at this point with vitamins. But we are at 193 attack. Defense is 169. Speed is 131, and Special is 102, and we're only at level 57. I don't know what the other one was. Let's actually pull that back for a second, and we're going to see what level I was at. So, the level I was at when I entered the Elite Four's first battle, and here you go, Lorelei. Come on, a little faster, there we go. So we were 5 levels higher at that point, okay? So we were 5 levels higher than we are right now. So let's see how fast we can get through this Elite Four, and I also want to show the moveset we're going into Elite Four with. So let's go ahead and do that. Ah, that was so fast. Let's go back a hair. There we go. And missed it again. I think it's okay. It's Body Slam, Crabhammer, Dig, and Swords Dance is what the moves are. That's what the moves are. So we'll go ahead and go into Elite Four, and we're going to face Lorelei, the Ice Trainer. Now Lorelei, she is not exactly the hardest trainer to deal with the water Pokemon. There's nothing super effective she has, but we still want to set up with Swords Dance. That way we outspeed. And it goes with Growl, which I hate because it lowered our attack stat, but no big deal. Our stats are so high because of Swords Dance right now, and we just got to get one more hit in. A special move would be better with that Pokemon. It has low special, but it has a really high defense. So Slowbro will be a 2-shot, very good. Now we just got a 1-shot or 2-shot the Jinx without getting hit by Ice Punch, very good. And Lapras, nothing can really hurt us other than confusing us, and maybe that can knock us out. But we get a very easy win over Lorelei, okay? And we move on to Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno very much. He is the lost hiker that ended up at the Elite Four, and we're going to destroy Bruno. So we're going to come out. We're going to go ahead and just modify our stats just a little bit. Not a lot, but just a little bit. And there's 2, and we're going to go for Crabhammer. It's a 1-shot. Very good. Dig. We're going to go for Dig for a knockout. Very good. We're going to do Hitmonlee. We're going to do the same thing. Dig. Just being safe. Very good. Onyx one more time. Crabhammer will be a knockout. As soon as if we hit it, it'll be a knockout. Let me rephrase that. And then Machamp will also be... Oh, it won't be a 1-shot. That was close. I thought he'd do way more damage than that with submission. But we get the win. We beat Bruno. We don't talk about him much for a reason. But we move on right to Agatha. Agatha can be scary because she has the Agatha Law. She can confuse us, paralyze, put us to sleep, and poison us. Okay? Also, her Pokemon are pretty fast, so she's going to outspeed us. However, we're going to save right here just to be safe. And what we're also going to do is if we badge boost, we just got to badge boost 1 or 2 times to make sure we outspeed the Gengar or the Haunter. Okay, I'm not too worried about the Golbat or the Arbok. It's the Gengar and Haunter are pretty fast. So Dig is a one-shot. We actually already outspeed, so that's good. We're not going to hit with Golbat. We are confused now, which is awesome. So we're going to go for Swords Dance. Why not badge boost while we're confused? Because that way if it hits us, we don't do that much damage. Body Slam. Dig, get the knockout, very good. So down to 2 Pokemon, Arbok's left. We're going to go for Dig, and is Dig a one-shot? It is, with our modified stats, very good. And Dig one more time is very good. So we get the knockout, we get the win. We beat Agatha on the first try, so we haven't had any resets yet. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next part of the game, which is Lance. So I kept a hold of a move that everyone's very familiar with if you've ever played Generation 1. It's one of the best moves in the game by far, and that move is TM13 Ice Beam. So we kept hold of Ice Beam for a very specific reason, and that is to be able to deal with 2 things. One, a lot of Lance's Pokemon are Dragon type, so they're weak to Ice. So if we badge boost, we'll be able to steamroll his team. Just gotta get by the Gyarados. And also, Ice Beam can be very effective against the champion's Bulbasaur or Venusaur. So that's why we have Ice Beam. It can also be pretty effective against Pidgeot if we want to do that. So here's our battle with Lance. Comes out with a Gyarados as usual, as per tradition. So we just Swords Dance and he leered. So our attack stat and special and speed's all through the roof right now. And so now we should be able to steamroll his team. We might be able to use Bubble Beam and do it, or Body Slam and do it, honestly. But with all those modifications to our stats, we are steamrolling through this. I can't even talk about the Pokemon. I can't say Aerodactyl fast enough. He gets knocked out. And Dragonite steamrolled the team. Very good. We beat the champ, or I'm sorry, we beat Lance, and now we're moving on to the champ. So the goal for this, if you watched my prediction video, was to get this in under an hour, and we're pacing at that right now. Now we could stumble right here because, and here's where sometimes the growth rate of the Pokemon sucks. We are going to initiate with this Pokemon. Okay, we're going to badge boost, and we're probably going to use Ice Beam. Ice Beam goes off our special. Our special gets modified and makes it more effective. However, if we level up, it resets our stats. So this is where the medium fast growth rate can really just can't hurt us because we don't have another rare candy to prevent us from leveling up again. We just gave a rare candy right before this battle, and it still could level up. Okay, so Ice Beam, knock it out, very good. And we're going to go for Dig on old Alakazam here, knock him out, very good. Ride on, Ice Beam should be a one-shot. We're going to Swords Dance one more time and get leered, so attack stats, special, all that stuff is going through the roof, very good. And then Gyarados comes out, Body Slam should be a one-shot, excellent. And now we have Arcanine. Arcanine should be a one-shot as well. And now we just have our the final Pokemon, which, like I said, we leveled up, so it undid all of our badge boosting, and he hits a Razor Leaf to just decimate us. So, what does that mean for this Pokemon? Well, what that means for this Pokemon is we can still win this battle, we just can't use Ice Beam. Because we got to go off the stat that we are modifying with Swords Dance, which means our attack stat. So that means Ice Beam's off the table. It's a special move. Okay? And I accidentally just deleted Blizzard right there. So you're going to see me reset again and redo this. So I accidentally resetted Blizzard. I reset again, went back to the last save state. And I'm going to replace Ice Beam with Blizzard. See if I can get a little more bang for my buck. Okay, now we're going to fight this battle again. Okay, so like I said, I think the solution here is to go with a physical attack stat that goes off our modified attacking stat, not with a special move. Swords Dance 1. Swords Dance 2. Okay, doesn't do really any damage to us. Swords Dance 3. Now we're faster, stronger, all that good stuff. Go for the Blizzard again, get the knockout, very good. And now we're going to go ahead and start steamrolling. Dig is a one-shot, very good. Ride-on's a one-shot if we just hit it. Come on, do Dig. Dig will do it. Oh, Body Slam. I want another Leer, that's why. Body Slam again, very good. 2 Leers got off. Okay. Body Slam is a one-shot on the Gyarados, very good. Arcanine should be a one-shot with Body Slam, very good. And now we're on, we level up, but now we're on to the final Pokemon, where Body Slam gets the knockout. We didn't even need to mess around with Blizzard, okay? So I'm tapping, tapping. Trying to get our final time under 1 minute. I'm sorry, under 1 hour. And we're tapping. We're at level 63, and right there is our stats. So I'm going to pull this back one more time, just so we can kind of see where we're at when it comes to beating the Elite Four, and we'll get all the way to the end where we end up beating this game at 1 hour and 32 minutes and 33 seconds. So what that means for this Pokemon is, make it a little bit bigger. So we beat this game in 59 minutes 55 seconds. We saved almost 33 minutes on this Pokemon. Okay, almost 33 minutes were saved on this run because we added one move that the Pokemon should have got from the get-go. So this is why I wanted to do this. I wanted to see what kind of impact having a common sense move would have. So for example, I played through with Aerodactyl not too long ago. I think Aerodactyl could do very well with Rock Slide. I think Rock Slide would be a great move to have for Aerodactyl. We can't use like Ancient Power or anything because that's not available in Gen 1, but Rock Slide is. And being the fact that it's a rock flying Pokemon, it gets no extra moves. It gets no stab moves. So it doesn't make any sense. However, that's just one scenario that I want to play through. There's a couple more out there. So, but you see the effect that one move can have on a Pokemon. It makes this Pokemon go from like what would be like middle of the pack Pokemon to, honestly, this is close to like a top tier water type. So the top tier water types that I've played through as really is like Poliwrath and maybe Vaporeon, things like that. But then we don't have a lot of water types that are hitting around this range, but this one did. And I honestly probably could have saved some time because there's some trivial battles I didn't need to fight. Okay, I could have skipped over more battles. I could have done that. So, but we get this under an hour, which is our goal, and it showcases, like, there are some common sense moves that could definitely improve Pokemon, so I'm going to do more. This is just a series I'm going to do. There's not, like, I'm not going to do all what-ifs in the next, like, 10 vids, but I will space it out. We're going to move around and jump from these scenario-type game playthroughs. Like, the what-if scenarios is one scenario. There's Generation 2 solo runs. There's Versus series, okay? There might be some Generation 3, like Pokemon Challenge videos I might do. Or Generation 1 Pokemon Challenge videos, where I can only use bugs or something, or do a Nuzlocke. There's still a bunch of those things I can do. So that's kind of just... I'm tickled pink with the results, and I'm very happy with the results. And like I said, I think there's some more Pokemon that could get some common sense moves and could really change the complexity of the Pokemon. So let me just think in the comment section down below. This has been JD's Nerdverse. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. It's the channel one by one person. I appreciate all of you. So next week we should have a Pokemon Crystal playthrough with Mew. So the last Pokemon I played through in Generation 1 in Pokédex order is going to be my first playthrough, because the reason why I'm choosing Mew is Mew can learn a lot of moves, so it helped me familiarize myself with the moveset and such for this Pokemon. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below about this video, about anything, any ideas you have, maybe a Pokemon I've overmissed, like, hey, what if this Pokemon got this move? How much better would it be? Well, let's find that out. So let me know, comment, like, share, subscribe, have a good one, and I'll see you guys on Monday.